Hello, my name is Natasha Gagné. With my colleagues, Benoît Trépied, we put together a special issue of the journal City and Society, the first of 2016. The special issue is entitled Colonialism, Law and the City, the Politics of Urban Indigeneity. This special issue originated in a double panel co-organized by Daniel Rosenblatt and myself at the AAA meeting in Chicago in 2013. So we are delighted that this special issue is now published, and we hope that the readers will find it useful. The objective of the special issue is to add to the newly flourishing literature on the urban experiences of indigenous people by describing the forms and contexts of indigenous political struggle in the city. We specifically look at diverse forms of urban resistance by indigenous people in the face of attempts to delegitimize them as inauthentic indigenous people. Indeed, as others have emphasized before us, the general idea that real indigenous culture and identity are located in rural areas still holds sway today. And this is what we call a ruralist paradigm in our introduction to the special issue. In the special issue, we focus primarily on legal issues and consider particularly how urban-based indigenous people deal with structurally and historically ruralist legal provisions and judicial mechanisms. So the special issue includes 4 papers focusing on New Zealand Maori, Native Hawaiians, Quebec's First Nations, and Kanak of New Caledonia. A first article is by Judith Schechter. It examines key moments in the long-standing struggle, which began in the 1920s in Honolulu, of urban-based Hawaiians to preserve their place and their ways of being in the city. So the paper looks at the strategies of resistance of Hawaiians living in a neighborhood near downtown Honolulu known as Papakolea. And among other strategies, these people have used a legal status, the homestead status, which was recognized for their neighborhood as an important legal resource for their social and political mobilization. A second paper by myself looks at the situation of Maori in Auckland. In fact, I am in Auckland at this very moment, and what you see behind me is the Auckland City Hall. Auckland Maori, like Honolulu Hawaiians, have repeatedly faced dominant discourses, delegitimizing them as inauthentic indigenous people. And this is despite the fact that almost 85% of the Maori population live in cities. And nearly a quarter of them, of the entire Maori population, lives here in Auckland. This urban Maori population has been largely excluded to legal provisions from the benefits of the Treaty of Waitangi settlements, which had important impacts on the authenticity politics among Maori themselves. And my argument in this paper is that this essentializing tendency might be lessening as the passing of time has brought Maori successes in many fields. So the focus now is less on cultural authenticity and more on Maori political representation. And as an illustration of the current tendencies, I look in particular at the new Auckland Super City Council, created in 2010, and the Maori political representation on the council at the local government level. A third paper is by Caroline Desbiens, Carole Lévesque, and Johanna Koma. And unlike the two first papers, which examine the situation in large metropolitan centers, this paper looks at the challenges faced by the Aboriginal people in a northern, small but rapidly growing mining city named Val d'Or in the province of Quebec in Canada. So the city is located on Anishinaabe traditional territories and is the home of a quite diversified Aboriginal population. So the authors looks at how Aboriginal people actively invent new places in the city alongside non-Aboriginal residents. And they examine two initiatives, in particular a daycare and a march against racial discrimination that promote intercultural solidarity among Val d'Or residents. And in doing that, they challenge, among other things, the ruralist paradigm underlying the structure of the Canadian state and colonial legacies. The last article is by Benoit Trépied. It considers the politics of authenticity that permeates the justice system through an ethnographic study of the customary family court of Nouméa, New Caledonia's capital city. And in this article, Benoit looks at the practical interactions between the Kanak customary associate judge, which is a particularity of the New Caledonian justice system, the French judge at the head of the court, and the Kanak parents, who are mostly young and city dwellers. While the course relies on a traditionalist and ruralist definition of Kanak society, custom, family and parenthood, the analysis reveals how the urban-based Kanak parents assert their own views through a variety of strategies. So with these few words, I hope that I have awakened your interest in this special issue, and I wish you interesting reading.